I mean, I still love a sweet taste, but it doesn't have that hook.
It's weird.
I
It's
don't
really
know.
gone.
And I think a good portion of it is I just feel so much better. It's like, I'm f***ing this up. Whoops. Hello.
Hello. Ooh, I got it in.
Let's do it. Do it.
What? Hi.
Look at the camera.
Oh, hi. You didn't interrupt me this time. Remember the last video when you're like, you didn't say hi.
You didn't.
And
You're
then our
now. What are you doing? I'm
videographer-
interrupting you. Oh, sorry.
Hello to our lovely.
I am Tom.
I'm Anne-Lise.
That was what I was getting at.
Oh,
I was trying to lead
I'm
it,
supposed to say my name.
because we carry on.
Welcome to the Meat and Marriage channel. We are so happy you're here. We love our audience. We do.
Oh, okay. This is funny.
Why?
Your soothing, calm narrator voice.
I should have been a voiceover narrator.
So, yeah, we've been absent again.
We're here trying. For an update. We're here to let you know we're still here.
And still on path.
Still on
course.
We're still since our last recording though, you did try some tres leches.
Oh, I did.
He tried some cake and he tried some cookie.
Yeah, so we went to the
lake.
lake.
Little drink.
So there was it was a lake trip that was combined birthday party with a bunch of people, and just kind of happened to work out. So they brought all kinds of desserts and different stuff, birthday cake. And tres leches is my favorite, which they got for my daughter. And so I thought, well, been putting it off. Was going to do it at your birthday when they had it. I'm like, nah, it wasn't the time. And I thought, wow, what the hell? Let's try it. And I just took a teaspoonful. Anyway, it was just like, It was my favorite cake in the whole world. And I was like, So I mean, I did not like it.
And then you decided to try a cookie.
Well, so I took a bite. I took a bite off.
Cookie.
Yeah, a crappy one. And when I say crappy one, it wasn't homemade.
Like
it was just a Sam's package, big bulk thing. And so I broke a bite off of that and tasted. That tasted okay. It tasted better than the cake, which surprised me.
But we were on vacation in a house with all this stuff just available, sitting out on the counter and stuff. So if it had activated something in you, you certainly would have been.
That was a little bit of a concern.
Fighting it. Now the next morning, you did grab for another piece of cookie, and I was like, "What are you?"
Yeah, doing? I did take a little bite,
and I was like,
"I don't know."
And then your stomach was all torn up, and you're like, "Must have been the pork rinds."
Well, I ate a giant tub on the way down.
I know, but I'm sure that
didn't help.
Right. But what did taste good?
So then somebody brought some watermelon. I love watermelon. And so they cut them in wedges about this thick and then little triangles. And so I probably had 2 of those fully. And when I took a bite, I was like, oh, the angels are singing. It did taste really good. But I thought, yes, that. I'm like,
yeah, you said it was the best watermelon you'd ever had.
Yeah, and it did taste good. And then I was like, oh boy. So, and I did have one bite the next morning.
Oh,
but that's it.
Your little morning after sneaks. I didn't know about these bites.
Right out in the kitchen, right out in the open in front of everybody. You were busting me on the cookie, and I wasn't even hiding it. So
we don't.
You're the sneak snacker back in the day.
I was the sneak snacker.
I was I'm in your face. Let's eat.
Let's do this.
There was a time for another one of our people that we knew really well. Kid had a birthday. And they were staying with us. And so I went to the old Hostess store. And they had Hostess, Ding Dongs, and was it Twinkies?
Twinkies and Ding Dongs.
Twinkies and Dongs. Yeah. I filled the trunk of the car up.
They had like 2 for $1 boxes or something.
They were $1 a box. And I think I bought 100 boxes.
100 boxes.
So until he was sick.
For his birthday, he's like, you can have as many as you want. We had literally 100 boxes that probably had 6 or 8.
They were the full. At least 8
packages of.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He got sick.
Yeah, and then
he was the enabler. It's a wonder everyone you know doesn't have metabolic syndrome just because they knew you.
Yeah, they probably do.
We're trying to help them.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so speaking of, over the top, and I ate a bunch of them too for a long time. We had them stacked in our bedroom.
We finally got sick of them.
We finally was like, oh, these are gross. Not that they went bad, because they don't go bad because they're so processed.
Oh God.
But anyway,
That was many years ago.
yeah.
To
Oh
be
yeah, that
clear,
was
that
like
was in
2009,
2010.
10, 10.
Probably
Okay,
9 and 10. Yeah.
yeah, somewhere around there. But so that was that. But then that night that I did have the little tres leches and stuff, I did bring some Crown
Oh, that's right.
for
You didn't do
everybody,
tequila. You did
and then I
Crown.
did Crown, and I probably had 6 shots. I was pretty smashed. And normally,
He just
back in
sat
the
on
day,
the couch and fell asleep. He was
yeah,
out.
yeah,
It was like
the
9 o'clock.
oh, and it tasted good, and I didn't feel bad the next day,
No, you really
so
didn't.
that was good. So it's like, I
But
guess
then that was
after,
it. You
yeah,
didn't
that
have
was
any more the whole trip. So
no. I took a sip the next day of the Crown. I was like, well, nobody else is doing it. Everybody's messed up from the night before because
they
they
had
they went
even
hard.
more than 6 shots.
So it was kind of funny, but well, not everybody, but
No,
a few
a
of
few
us.
people.
And yeah, so that was kind of weird.
I was worried, but I think that was more about me. I decided to not, I just wasn't feeling it, but I do project quite hard. I do
little bit,
forget
a
that you and
little
I are
bit,
different people
a little
and
bit.
different bodies and different responses. It was really interesting to watch him
I'm fidgeting. I fidget with my
stop
coffee. Look at
loud
that cool coffee
fidgeting.
cup
Yes, it
from
was.
Black Rifle Coffee Company. That's probably reverse on the camera. But
Um,
happy Father's Day to me from this lady. Love this cup. My favorite
I
cup.
nailed it.
You did.
So back to me.
Back to you.
So
Different person.
right. I was worried, but I didn't have any draw to any of that stuff because I'm better than you. I'm just kidding.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So, anyways, I didn't feel like it. I'm just not ready. I don't know when I'll be ready. I'm sure I'll have some at some point, but yeah,
Yeah, I wasn't sure either. I was like, oh, what the hell?
I know.
And then
And
because I was actually
oh,
curious at this
but that
point.
was the thing. Like, you didn't just fall down a rabbit hole.
Oh
You
no.
didn't.
Oh no.
So
No.
that's really interesting to me because I had told myself that's
That's a
how it would be. And I've heard
I
stories
was concerned
of people
myself.
kind of, yeah. And
Even
that's
at
how
the
we
one
used to always do when we had any other way of
right.
eating. And then we tried to hold it up together and then it would just fall apart.
Well, and then it's at the 1 year mark. I had some
The
tequila.
tequila, yeah.
That whole week actually had a little bit here and there, which
But
is on
then
one
you
of the videos.
didn't, you
No,
came home and
I've had a little, but
here and there,
yeah,
just, it's very
and that
mild.
that I wasn't as concerned about the hook, and I was a heavy drinker,
Mm.
but I was concerned about the sugar, and I was pleasantly surprised that it. I mean, I still love a sweet taste, but it doesn't
Yeah,
have that hook.
it's weird.
I
It's
don't know.
really gone. That's,
And I think a good portion of it is I just feel so much better. It's like I ain't this up. Whoops. I'd have to edit
you just
that
gotta
out or
put a
not.
beep,
Yeah, I have to beat
not
that out.
bleeping
Yeah,
that up. Okay.
yeah.
That's the big deal. I think you do feel so much better and so much of you ate your misery and drank your misery away and but
Well,
it wasn't
misery,
really
pain.
pain. Well, I know. The misery from pain is what
Yeah,
I meant
which made it worse.
specifically. Right. Which made it worse. So let's talk a little bit more about you're 15 months in as of 2 days from now. And I'm like 14 and a half months in. We have been having some aches and pains. I really believe for me, it's my body prioritizing levels of healing. Like right now, I'm going through this thing with like my shoulder arm thing. I had multiple car wrecks growing up and in my like 20s and 30s, I guess,
Hmm.
where I got pretty bad whiplash. And so I've got some, what is that called?
Tightness in there.
Scalenes. And
Yeah,
anyway, so I just feel like
tightness.
I'm healing at deeper layers from old injuries and things like that. So going through some of that, knowing what it is. So I'm just chilling, just kind of letting it go, trying to
Hmm.
get to the chiropractor do extra on my vibration plate,
Acupuncture.
acupuncture a couple times to turn the tide, which was really helpful.
That was a biggie.
So we did get sick a little bit.
I didn't
Like
get
just
sick. I got run down.
he's
There's a
not
big
claiming
difference.
it.
I didn't. It didn't shut me down. I didn't have a sore throat. I
Your
wasn't
body
coughing.
was fighting a thing.
Oh, and it won.
It did. We always win. We didn't die, so we won. My point
I
is,
didn't win without I
we
didn't have to
were.
stay in bed or take time off.
I didn't have to stay in bed or take time off
You were
either,
close.
but I was sick. Anyway,
Yeah.
we were fighting it a little bit. I would say I bounced back pretty quickly.
Hmm.
It was some kind of or not. What is this called?
Sinus
Sinus and
stuff.
yeah. So I'm still feeling a little sniffly here and there, but like no symptoms and so definitely. Oh, and we made some waffles.
Oh yeah, carnivore waffles.
What do they call them? Chaffles? I don't know why they or whatever. Anyway,
Chaffles,
just
chaffles. I don't know what they
chaffles.
call them.
I don't
Coffles.
know
I made that
why.
word up.
Coffle.
I don't know.
Which was different because we have it. We've really shied away from like what would they be
Trying
called? Like
trying to make replica stuff.
yeah,
Like,
replicating the sad diet or something. Oh, we also learned about making pudding. So I'm probably going to do a recipe and post it on here because I am such a fan. I love like custardy,
ooh, we
puddingy
need
kind of
some
stuff.
of that.
Maybe make some tonight. I'll
Yeah.
make some. Um, and so while we were on the lake trip, Tom's niece and her husband are also carnivore, and they were experimenting with this recipe. He's really big on different things like that. So he makes the waffles for her. So I tasted them because they're pork rind based, and I just couldn't picture
Was
pork
it
rinds
pork rinds and eggs?
and eggs and cream cheese and butter. Like that just doesn't make sense. But I tasted it. I was like, this tastes
Oh,
like a legit waffle. That's so weird. Again, it didn't make me run out and go
well,
to IHOP.
the
I
only
didn't even want
I mean, it's got a little of the undertone of the
of the pork
pork
rind.
rind, and it's not super crispy, which
Right. It
is
just can't
that
seem to
would be
crisp it
my
up.
if it was if we can figure out how to get it crispy. If any of you know, let us know. Um, if we could figure out how to get it crispy, it'd be oh man, that would make it a it's a solid B for me. It'd be an A plus if it'd be crispy.
Yeah. I don't know.
I still enjoyed it. It
They're
was a
okay.
nice change, you know. It was like just a change up a little bit
Right.
because like
The waffle thing was just like, let's try something different.
I
Or
mean
the
it's been
pudding.
oh
The
pudding
pudding is
that's really good.
scrambled egg based. Very weird. But I've made a recipe out of it. You put a little
Sorry, I
gelatin
jumped
in it,
all
and then
over.
the next day it tastes like it hardens up and it tastes like what does it taste like?
Did you say custard?
Yeah, but also like flan, if you
Oh
like
yeah,
yeah,
depending on how you flavor it, which
a
you
little bit.
did. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
good.
we use some monk fruit
It's a
or
little
stevia.
rubbery,
It is a little
which I
rubbery,
like it.
yeah.
Like that's me personally. I like that texture, so that's kind of
But
cool.
so we're kind of exploring with some variety, which we're finally, I guess, ready for a little bit
Yeah, oh
here
yeah.
and there. But it's just for treats. We're not. It's
What
not
is
like our
it?
main.
What has it been? 3 weeks since we went to the lake
Yeah.
with everybody.
Hmm.
So I don't think we've had a steak since then.
Oh, that's weird. We've
Yeah,
been doing lots of ground
lots
beef
of ground beef and eggs,
and
and then we did
eggs,
a
but
couple nights of waffles.
oh yeah, we did. So
Yeah,
I
so
think
it's a
just going
just a
through a
little
little. I mean,
evolution
just
of
like
stuff.
the yeah ebbs and flows, but it's not. I've heard people when they start to wander off into those fantasy foods, like they start to fall off, and that we're still just as committed. It's just sometimes we do kind of intentionally still we eat our feelings a little bit, but we
Hmm.
just do it on like a little bit of cheese or a little heavier on the whipping
Yeah,
cream, or we'll make the waffles or do some pudding or something like. So we have these kind of play foods that are still highly nutritious
which
and
is
still
just
within
it's
realm.
just
It
funny
is.
when you
And I do
consider
sweet again. Like I've brought sweet back in over a while. I remember talking about how good I felt that I wasn't doing any sweet flavors, but I
because you
am.
told me you were better than me, which was
I
hilarious.
did.
Hilarious. It was fun. And then what was interesting too, when we came home from the trip, there was still the big container that had the tres leches in it,
Oh yeah, because like
and it just
nobody
sat
ate it.
there.
It
I'm
was
like
so
trying to get my
weird.
daughter to take it over to her boyfriend's house and get rid of this thing. And they're like, nah. And then it was had fresh strawberries, so we
So
finally
they kind
tossed it.
of
So I'll
got
throw it out. And I'm like, I'll throw it out. I said,
it. Just got a little old.
it was taunting me in the sense I opened up to
Oh,
get the because
I don't
our
think you
fizzy
would have.
water's in there. No, I wouldn't have got it, but
I don't
it
think you
was
would have appreciated it that
oh
old
no,
because it was
no,
like a couple
no.
weeks old by
But
then.
I was like, I don't need to keep looking at it though.
But that's really interesting. Oh my God, that cake wouldn't have lasted the first night
Oh
on our
no.
old.
And
We would have
all
been.
and they had so much stuff that actually nobody ate
It
really.
was weird. There was just a precedent of we just
Nobody.
brought our stuff and cooked lots of meat and eggs.
Hmm.
Tried a bunch of different pudding recipes.
So yeah,
So it's
it's kind of
just
different.
it's become such an integrated, ingrained way of life and making our own food and creating our own variety within it.
It's still very weird sometimes to think that we don't do what we used to do for me for 56 years.
Hmm.
57, yeah, 56 years.
I
Weird.
know.
But
So, but
oh,
it's
then when we were at the lake, um, somebody taunted me and made me jump off a cliff.
I did not
You
make
did,
him
you
jump off
did,
a
she
cliff.
did. She made
So our last video, he jumped off a cliff. I had no desire. It was like a 15-footer or something like that.
12 to 15,
And
probably 12,
and he just
maybe 15.
I
I
think
don't
he
know.
went off a couple of times and he had fun.
Did
And I was like,
twice,
well,
yeah.
that's nice. Well, then we went to this was a different lake, and there was this one spot. We had a couple teenagers with us that really wanted to like have some fun, and and jump off this higher cliff that was like, it said it was between 25 and 35 feet, depending on
Right.
the water level.
Based on looking at the lake
And so,
stories and stuff.
so we went to that place, and I don't know why, but I was just like in the mood to try it. And so up I went. And then, but I wasn't gonna make a big deal of it. They wanted to video me because they thought I would want. I didn't even care about that. I wasn't trying to prove anything. Was trying to impress anyone. I just thought this seems fun, and I think I can do it. So I'm climbing up the rocks. That was the hardest part. It really showed me I need to work on my upper body strength because like hoisting myself out of the water onto those rocks was like hard. It wore me out. But it was fun. It was thrilling, and and we debated. So then I guess once he saw me jump, then he had to
3
jump.
times. After the
Oh,
third time, I was like, oh,
that's when you went in?
I might as well just do this. I'm going to regret it
I
if
would
I
have
don't.
kept going,
I
dude.
don't know how many times in my life I thought I should just do it, get over it. So I did it.
So he jumped too. Then we spent the next like 24 hours debating how tall it was.
Right.
And it was
So because
going
we had, my original guess was, what did I say, like 30, 32?
something.
And
And
then
then it got up to like 40
one
or
one of the guys was saying
45.
maybe it's 45, and we were trying to
And then
compare it to
people were
numbers on
like,
the
oh,
bridge.
it's probably only 18. And oh my God. So we finally got the rope from the anchor,
And
and
lowered it to
somebody
the
climbed
water.
up, and then and then we measured it. It's 27 and a half feet. So
It's like, damn it wasn't 30.
but
And
it was still
that's a
probably the
long
highest I've
ways.
ever jumped
That's
off
a
of.
long ways down when you think about it. And then the um, one guy was saying it's 45. I'm like, God, I wish you were right, because I could just say I jumped off 45 feet and never do it again, ever.
It was fun, but I will tell you what was even more fun is there was one that was about 8 feet high.
Oh yeah,
That one was even more fun, and I could have just
and we
jumped
measured it
over
too.
and over and over.
That one
So
was fun.
so that's just one of those things that's like I would have never
Shoulders hurt.
enjoyed something like that before carnivore and before this, just having this energy and having, even with the aches and pains and the levels of healing and different things that are happening, knowing I'm getting better, knowing, well, if I wear myself out, I'm gonna pop back up. Like I'm
Yeah.
not worried about running out of energy, or I don't have that like, oh, I'm getting older and I'm falling apart, aches and pains. I have a totally different mentality toward what I'm capable of and what my body can do and what I want to do
Mm-hmm.
than I ever did. And I feel like me jumping off of that cliff was a
Put a lot of pressure on me
real,
to jump off that cliff.
I didn't do it because of that. But it was a testament to my change in mindset. That was
Mindset,
a
definitely.
real, because I wasn't worried. I really wasn't worried about it. Now I did the third time I felt I
You
hit
bottomed
the
out a
water
little.
just a little wrong and bruised my tailbone, but that's even like almost better. Every once in a while it hurts just a little bit. Tailbones take like 4 to 6 weeks, and it's only been 3, and I'm already just about pain free.
Yeah, that's good.
So, and I didn't complain because if you're going to be stupid, you got to be tough. That's
She
what
didn't
you've
tell me.
always
I
said.
don't think she told me for a couple of days, if I
I didn't, because
remember.
I didn't want him to be like, I told you you should have been careful.
I
I'm
was
like,
like, don't. Are
careful.
you really going to do that?
I
She goes,
was
I am. I'm like,
careful. I wouldn't
oh
have
my
done a
gosh.
40-foot jump. I wouldn't have done higher than that.
That was
But that
I mean,
felt,
you look it.
it's not going to, we'll have the video in here. I'm sure you've already seen it now a couple times probably. So it doesn't look as impressive when you just watch it. But when you're up there and you're looking down, it looks like a really long ways. Like it's hard to get yourself to do it.
Well, being a drywall and paint contractor, I was at a new house, and they had a landing that we went up to, and it was 10 feet. And I was at the edge of the landing. There's no railing and no soft water, so to speak. Water not soft if you land wrong, but no. I was like, look down. I don't like heights. That's the other thing. And so I looked down. I'm like, oh, my stomach turned, and I'm like,
That's only
oh,
10
I'm
feet. You
like,
did
that's only.
almost 3
I'm
times
like,
that. It is a
oh.
long
So
ways.
in that puts some perspective in me. So I was like, ooh, ooh,
So
ooh, ooh. Might
so
not do that again. I don't know.
I don't
I don't know if
know. I
that's
don't know
worth
if
it.
I would do it again,
I
but
do
I'll
that.
do
Eight,
shorter ones.
eight in
Yeah.
a heartbeat.
It's just fun to jump off stuff into water. That's what I'd
Well,
forgotten.
and
I haven't
this
done that in
spot, I
years.
know this spot was well known.
Very deep
So
water, like 60
yeah,
feet down or something.
and it's the water level on the lake was constant, so it
Yeah.
wasn't like
We
it
were
could have been
safe. We
low.
were
Yeah,
careful. We don't have a death wish. We want to live a
yeah.
long time. Um, and we're happy to be here, and we're happy to be back and talking to you guys. And we're going to try to be a bit more consistent. So for
Try
those of you who are still watching our videos and commenting,
when
I
they
also,
occasionally show up recently. Thank you.
Scout's Honor, promise to be better about answering the comments. I'm a little busy, but I care about you.
Dizzy?
That
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
often a little dizzy. So We love you guys. Thanks for listening.
To
Let
our
us
crazy
know
ramblings.
and let us know what parts you identify with. Have you tried stuff? Are you aching and painting?
Crisp up the waffles a
Have you
little.
had some waffles? Have you tried the
If you
pudding?
have,
I'm gonna make the
anyway,
pudding recipe on here. I feel like I owe it to the world because
it's pretty good.
it's quite memorable in my mind. So
Later.